Hello everyone, this is Anson from AnsonAlex.com, and in this video I'm going to provide a quick start tutorial for using LinkedIn here in 2015. Last year in 2014 I did a multi-part video series on using LinkedIn, which is still very relevant. It's a little more detailed. This is going to be a little quicker and we're going to get to that final product quicker, but if you're looking for some more details, go ahead and check out my 2014 video series on LinkedIn. I will put links to that series in the description of this video here on YouTube. But for now, let's go ahead and let's start just by taking a look at my LinkedIn profile. So LinkedIn is kind of like a social network. It is a social network, but it's for professionals. It's for business professionals, and honestly, I don't even think it's just for business professionals anymore. It's for anybody who's working or wants to work. If you have a job or you're looking for a job, it's almost a must to be on LinkedIn. This is a great way to find jobs. It's a great way to connect with people that you've worked with in the past and reach out to them about new business opportunities or just work opportunities. So I think everybody should be on LinkedIn. So here's what my final LinkedIn profile looks like. It almost looks like a resume or a CV. I have my current position, previous positions. This is just kind of your quick snippet right here. You know what I do. Here's a tagline, my name, obviously where I'm located and the industry I'm in. And then as we scroll down, we have a summary like we would have on a resume or a CV. And then there's details about every work experience I've had, and they're in order from the latest work experience to the oldest one. So you can see I have a number of experiences in here. People can recommend you on LinkedIn, so they can recommend you based on one of your particular work experiences. So these two gentlemen I used to work with at a small company, and they gave me recommendations on LinkedIn, and I likewise also gave them recommendations. So that is another great feature. You can also input different types of information here on LinkedIn, like your volunteer work, causes you care about, different projects you've worked on, even if it's not a specific work position, certifications you have, publications that you've worked on. And then down here at the bottom, people can actually endorse you for skills that they think you are good at. So you can see people have endorsed me for search engine optimization, social media marketing. Hey, maybe that's why I'm doing this video. WordPress, blogging, a number of different things. And that just gives people who maybe don't know that much about you an idea of your specialties. So that's another great feature here on LinkedIn. Some more information down at the bottom, your languages that you speak, your education, and then any additional info. So as you can see, this LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile serves as a great place to send anybody that's maybe interested in hiring you or just working with you. I tend to send people here instead of giving them a paper CV or resume. I work in the information technology industry, so it's nice if I can give them a digital place to go to find out more about me, and that place is LinkedIn. So that's great. This is what a finalized profile looks like. Also on LinkedIn, you can search for people, jobs, companies. You want to make sure that you're networking with everybody that you've worked with in the past. This isn't Facebook or Twitter. You don't have to be going out and having drinks with somebody on Friday to add them here to LinkedIn. If you see them when you walk into the office on Monday morning, that's the type of person that you should be adding here on LinkedIn, because you never know where those connections are going to lead in the future, possibly job opportunities. So, that's all great. We can search for people, we can add them to our network. Here's my profile. But in this video, I'd like to kind of get started by just creating a new LinkedIn profile, because it's easy for me to sit here and say, hey, this is what it should look like, but how do we actually accomplish this? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up a new window here, and I'm going to go to linkedin.com. I'm going to be logged out now because I'm in incognito. So you can see down here towards the center of the page, we have the option to get started. It's free. We have to go ahead and enter some information. So we'll go ahead and enter the information and click Join Now. Once you get to the next screen, it's going to start asking you some more information. And one of the things that LinkedIn does really well is it walks you through the process of setting up and really adding a lot of content to your LinkedIn profile. So we'll go ahead and we'll add some information here. I am currently employed. I am a founder. It's always a nice job title to have, right? Self-employed, founder. And I'm in we'll try and find information technology here. There we go. And we'll hit create my profile. Obviously you can look through these industries and try and find the one that best suits you, but it's pretty good for me for now. And it wants to confirm my email address, so I'm going to click continue. It's actually going to try and import my contacts from Gmail. Now that's up to you. You don't have to do that, but you can. And I'll go ahead and hit accept. I don't think I have any contacts in this Gmail account since it's just a test account, but we'll see what comes up. Okay, so it didn't really find anybody. We can go ahead and enter our phone number if we want to get a text message with a link to download the LinkedIn app. If you have a smartphone, an Android or an iPhone, I would definitely recommend this. The mobile versions are pretty good as well, but I'm going to skip this for now as we're talking about the computer version here. It also gives me the opportunity to upgrade to a premium account, which gives us a few more tools. We can find jobs easier. You can find employees easier if you're doing job hunting on LinkedIn. There's kind of a few different features, but for now, I think if you're just starting out with LinkedIn, I think you can go with the basic account. So we'll just click basic account. So when we do that, here we are on LinkedIn, and this looks very similar to the page I showed you before. If we go back to my actual profile, you can see here's my profile, and then here's an empty profile. So we need to start filling this out. So the first few things that you want to add here is you want to add a photo. That's going to really separate you from other people on LinkedIn. I know it might sound trivial, but if somebody can actually see a picture of you, they're going to be much more likely to actually go to your profile and possibly send you a message about, hey, we have a job opportunity. So first thing, add a photo. So I'm just going to click add a photo, and I'm going to click choose file to upload one from my computer. I actually have one on my desktop. It's the same one. So I'm going to choose that photo. It's going to upload it, and you'll see how I appear in the different formats LinkedIn has. That looks good to me. I could crop this a little bit if I wanted to. I could cut it down in size, maybe just do that. However that's up to you. Then go ahead and click save when you're ready. You can see I now have a photo. So we can scroll down here, and this is where you want to be looking when you first set up your LinkedIn profile, because this is where LinkedIn walks you through the steps. So it's telling us, hey, we have to add some education. So I'll go ahead and click add school. I went to the University of Tampa, and I actually did go to the John Sykes College of Business, so I'll go ahead and add that one in here, and we can go ahead and add our dates. I'm not going to do this with every single piece of information here because it would take quite a while during a video here, but we can just definitely add our school at least first. So I did international business. I don't need to put my grade in there. So you can add any activities or societies that you were involved in, and you can also add a description, which I'm just not going to do right now for time's sake. And then go ahead and click save. So now you can see that my education information has been added to my LinkedIn profile. Great. So we could also add a summary, which would just be kind of like a summary on a resume. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to fast forward as I type this out, but you'll kind of see what my final summary becomes here. And then when you're ready, just click save. So you can see I now have a summary. We could add any skills, any languages. So we'll add a language. We'll say that I speak English. I also do speak some Spanish, but we'll leave that out of there for now. Just want to kind of go through these steps a lot so you can see how this builds. We're going to add some skills. So what are some of the areas of expertise? Well, for now I'll put SEO, since a lot of people endorsed me on that before. Oops, that's already in there. And we'll add social media marketing, since we're doing a tutorial on LinkedIn. I don't know why it's adding it twice for me every time. We just need it once. So there's two of those. So we can just hit save just so we have a couple skills in there. We can add any volunteering experience. If you click this View More button, you'll see more areas that you can add to your LinkedIn profile. So the ones that you definitely want to add are going to be your work experience, which actually down here. So you'll notice I have got the summary, then I have the experience. It already added one section of experience for me because I told LinkedIn when I first created my profile that I was self-employed. But I could add another position. So I could say I used to work at Fair Account Media Group was a company I used to work at. There it is. And I was an IT administrator. There we go. And we could add, a time period and all of that. I think it was from May of 2010 until November of 2012. And I could add a description and click save. You'll notice that I now have another job experience in here. For this self-employed one, I would definitely change this. I am self-employed, but my organization does have a name. So I would change company, and I would actually put ansonalex.com. I think that looks a lot better. So there it is right there. I actually have a LinkedIn profile for my company. And I actually started in January of 2011. And I currently work here, so we can save that. So now you can see I've got some nice little experience here. And based on these companies already being on LinkedIn, it pulled in the logo for these companies. So that's great. I didn't have to add that myself, but it adds a little bit of color and makes my profile just stand out a little bit more. So you want to add as much experience as you can. I would definitely add descriptions to these different experiences as well. There's the education, those skills and endorsements, add as many of those as you can. And we're starting to have a LinkedIn profile that's starting to look pretty good. It definitely looks better than when we first got in here. So I'm not going to go through filling out all the rest of these areas right now, but this is where you can access them. You can fill them out just like I filled out my work experience and education, and just fill out as many as you can. If you have certifications, add them. If you've done projects, add them. If you've volunteered, add it. If you have test scores that you did well on, add them in here. So just try and put as much information in here as possible. Now also notice that you can add a background photo up here to the top, which is great if you are running your own organization and you want to just get a message out there. As you can see on my other profile, I have my ansonalex.com logo up there at the top. So that would be uploaded just the same way that we uploaded our profile photo. The next thing that we want to do is we want to start searching for people, jobs, and companies to connect with, and probably people to start. So first of all, if you're currently working with some people, maybe your closest coworkers, just search their names and try and add them on LinkedIn. Let's say I have a coworker that I've worked with a few times. His name is Clyde Sanchez. So he's a web designer. So here's Clyde. So I can just go here and find Clyde's profile. And then if I click on this little blue, or just mouse over this blue drop down here on his profile, I can click Connect. And I can send an invitation. How do I know Clyde? Well, we were a colleague. And it'll ask, hey, where were you colleagues? Well, we were colleagues at Faircount Media Group. So then I can send that invitation. I'm actually not going to do that right now because I'm going to delete this profile when I'm done with this video, since I already have a LinkedIn profile and I don't want to confuse people. But that would be how you would send an invitation for somebody to connect with you. Now, let's say somebody sends an invitation to you to connect. You're actually going to see that up here in the notifications tab. You'll get a little red icon up here if we go back to my other profile. Actually, if somebody sends you an invitation to connect, it's going to appear above the silhouette in these notifications. You can see I have 24 invitations right now. This is your notifications area. So this is going to be when people view your profile, when contacts that you have in your address book or something like that join LinkedIn, and then this messages symbol is going to be where you actually receive messages here on LinkedIn. So that might be where you get job opportunities, people messaging you for more information about your skills and services. So you definitely want to keep an eye on these three areas up here at the top, because again, that's where you're going to be notified about everybody who's interacting with your profile here on LinkedIn. Once you do have some connections, you can click on the connections link to take a look at them. You can look at their profiles. I don't have any right now in this account, but if I did, I could click on them to go to their profiles, and then I could endorse them for skills here on LinkedIn. I could say, hey, Clyde is good at web design, and so forth. If you want to look for jobs here on LinkedIn, you can click on the jobs link. There's actually a really robust search system for finding jobs. So first of all, there's just some jobs right off the bat down here at the bottom, and those jobs that are being displayed are tailored to me based on my location and based on my industry, my education. You can see it's all IT stuff for the most part. So it's very related to me. If I click on this advanced search box, though, I can really drill down to specific jobs here on LinkedIn. So what's the industry? Well, right now it's all industries. Let's say, hey, I don't want to look in all industries. I want to look in, computer software is a good one. Let's see if there's an information technology. So information technology, information services. Choose as many as I want. Where's the zip code that I want to look for these jobs? Maybe I'm moving to another part of the country, and even though I currently live in 33304, I'm moving to California. I could enter that zip code so I could look for jobs specific to that area. What type of, this is the industry of the job, but actually what function do I want to perform at that job? So if you know that you want to be a consultant or you want to do customer service, a specific function, you can go ahead and choose that from the list. And then down here, if you were to upgrade to one of the LinkedIn Premiums account, you could actually specify how much money you'd like to make and only see jobs that are a certain salary or higher. So that's kind of a little benefit of upgrading to the premium version. And then once you've specified all this information, you can also enter keywords up here at the top. So you could say like IT administrator. Maybe I want to do that same job that I did before, and then just hit search. And it's going to refine your search results. So now we can see, we've got some, I don't know if there's any IT administrators, network administrators, system administrator. Those are pretty much the same thing, a little bit different. So I could go ahead and I could take a look. This is a job in Miami. I live in the Miami area. Network administrator, great. That sounds like a good fit for me. I could click view. and I could go ahead and I can find this description of the job, responsibilities, just like you would see on like a monster.com website. And then if you keep let's see, well, if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, you've got similar jobs, which is kind of cool. But you can actually apply to this job right here on LinkedIn. Up here at the very top, there's this blue button that says Apply Now. So I could click Apply Now, and then I can go ahead and enter my phone number. I could upload a resume or cover letter if I'd like, and a cover letter is probably a good idea. It makes your application somewhat personal to that company. A resume is not all that important if you have a full-fledged LinkedIn profile, because you're applying right from LinkedIn. So when this company gets your application, where's the first place they're probably going to go? They're going to go to your LinkedIn profile. So if you have all your job history and experience on your LinkedIn profile, you shouldn't have to worry about uploading a resume. Now, I'm not going to actually apply, but it's definitely, an option. And then over here, we also have this tab that says interests, and this is where we can kind of look at all the other stuff on LinkedIn. We can look at companies. There are a lot of LinkedIn groups which basically group people with similar interests. So there's a co-founder group for people that are kind of finding startups, creative art group, social media marketing group, a whole bunch of different groups. You can search for groups right up here in the top, just like you would search for people, jobs, and companies. So I could search for like entrepreneurs. So I could, and you'll notice when I start typing that, it kind of auto searches for me. So I can say I want to search for groups about entrepreneur, and then boom, we have a whole bunch of different entrepreneur groups. So we can join those groups and then start networking with the people in those groups, add them on LinkedIn, and maybe there will be future job opportunities from those people as well. If you are going to interact with somebody, so let's say I go back to Clyde's profile here just to show you. So here's Clyde, my friend. I can send Clyde mail from right here. This blue drop down is how we can interact with Clyde. We can see activity that he's done recently. We can share his profile. We can connect with him again, like I said before. But this is how we could also message him here on LinkedIn. LinkedIn also always does a great job of kind of leading you to the next place or the next step. Always keep an eye on this sidebar over here to the right, because it gives you great suggestions for your LinkedIn profile and just for your LinkedIn experience. So now it's saying, hey, maybe I should follow Citi. It's a big company, it's a business, it's in finance. Maybe I should follow them on LinkedIn. I'm looking at Clyde's profile right now. Well, people who viewed Clyde's profile also viewed all these other people's profiles. So maybe they have something similar. Maybe they're both web designers. Then I could look at these people's profiles as well to say, hey, who's the web designer I really want for this job? So that's another feature of LinkedIn. Always a lot of information in this right sidebar. Here's people similar to Clyde, ads I might be interested in. That's how LinkedIn makes money, one of the ways. But this is LinkedIn. So, I'm going to go back to my real profile here. You want to get as much information on here as possible, connect with as many people as possible that I used to connect with a lot of random people on LinkedIn, but I actually went through my profile and I decided not to do that anymore. I had enough people. I have almost 500 connections, business connections of people I actually know and work with, and I just didn't like the feeling of having all these connections of people I didn't know, because in a way I'm vouching for them by connecting with them, and if I haven't worked with them, then I can't really vouch for them. So everybody that I'm connected with on LinkedIn, I have some sort of relationship that is beyond LinkedIn with that person, whether I've done a project with them or maybe I met them at a conference, something as simple as that, but they're people that I can kind of vouch at least something about them. But you want to build that network as big as you can of the people that you've actually worked with. You want to make sure that you have as much information on your profile as possible, and really just create a place for people to come to see everything that you've done professionally, all of your experience, all of your education, all of your accomplishments. Really make yourself look like an all-star in whatever industry you work in. And it's definitely going to lead to more job opportunities. If you get involved with the community on LinkedIn, that's just going to increase your chances even more. But like I said, if you're working or looking for a job, you need to be on LinkedIn nowadays. So I really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, I would appreciate a thumbs up here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to check out my 2014 video series on LinkedIn. It's multiple videos. They're definitely a little bit more detailed. So once you get your initial profile set up, you can dig a little deeper into those videos. And please leave any comments in the comments section here on YouTube or on AnsonAlex.com regarding additional information that you'd like to learn about LinkedIn, and I'll do my best to produce those videos here in the future in 2015. So thanks again for watching. This is Anson from AnsonAlex.com.